Well, it looks like we've got more of this calabrese that's going to flower due to that weather being so hot. But the rest of them look alright, but we have definitely lost that one. And now it's raining. These ones still look alright. I mean, they've got some really good size to them now. So far, so good with those. Better get some of those dead leaves away from the bottom as well. And they're alright. There's Savoy cabbages that's in there. So they're not looking too bad at all. Well, as you've just seen, we've still got the odd thing that's bolting due to weather being really hot for a long time. But the ironic thing about it is, it's only just gone to flower. And now it's cooled down a little bit and we've got some rain, even though it weren't forecast. But at least the majority of those plants are alright. I had a funny feeling that one by one they were going to start and bolt anyway. We might get a couple if we're lucky, but a lot of times, especially with cauliflowers, they'll just split wide open. So yeah, it's a bit of a change this morning. It was really hot in this greenhouse yesterday, and today it's quite manageable. We've got that little bit of rain, which I'm definitely sure those plants in garden are going to appreciate. You might remember these that we've been growing in container garden. Little gem lettuces in quite a small container. And we've got 3 left, which are now a really good size. We've harvested 3 already. We had 6 separate plants growing in this little container. So to ensure we've got a constant supply of salad, we need to grow some more. We've already got some seed sown for new salads. But at the same time, we've got spare plants that we've grown on to replace things like this. And I've also got a few of these containers spare. So we might as well take these little plants out of here and get them growing on. Just constantly keeping that cycle going where we've always got fresh homegrown salad at hand. And I'm using some recycled compost as well. As we go through season, containers are going to come empty. So we use whatever we can out of that compost. We'll remove all roots from that and throw them in compost. And then sieve what's left. We usually end up with around 50% of that compost out of each container that we can reuse. Then all we need to do is amend it by adding a little extra fertiliser. Like just a little sprinkle of bone meal, fish blood and bone, or grow more. I just put a little bit in while the container's not full. And I'll just top it off with some new stuff. I ain't even bothered sieving this today. Normally I would, but that's more important when you're trying to grow seedlings. But these are already established plants, so if the compost is a bit lumpy, it's not going to matter. As long as I don't have to go down to that supermarket and start buying bags of salad. Some of these plants actually look a little bit tired. In fact, one of them is basically dead. No good at all. But we've still got enough to do this container with. They've just been left a little bit too long in these cells. They're only really small cells. So you can imagine these plants are going to be struggling with the roots now. But we have got plenty to transfer. Any old leaves, you might as well just take off before you even do it. They're not going to do anything except attract slugs, as always. So a quick clean up. We'll pick out the best of these ones and get that container on its way. These are actually romaine lettuce. We usually do a little gem, but these romaine will grow quite a bit bigger. And I also found that dibber, if you remember, in the most unlikeliest place, in the bottom of a potato bag. I don't know how it got there. I'm just making nice deep holes in these, as I always do. We like to plant lettuce as deep as we can. Guarantees it's staying upright. But as I was saying, these plants aren't doing very well. These cells are way too small for them now. You can see they've got nice roots at the bottom, but they're just starting to get all tangled up. That's going to cause these plants to start in yellow, and then they're going to die back. So the sooner they're out of here the better. So just drop it in that made hole, pop it in, and really firm that down. I'm taking that leaf off as well, that's already starting to yellow. Doesn't matter how small the plant is, once we've trimmed it back, it's going to put plenty of growth on. And I think I'm only going to put 3 in this container, because these plants do grow quite a bit bigger than those little gems. And exactly the same thing with this one. A nice little bit of growth there, but that yellowing leaf, might as well take it away. Very compact root system. Just trying to free that off a little bit and drop it in. Got to keep doing this to maintain that supply of fresh salad all year long. As one starts to deplete, grow another one. And I think that one will do as well. It's really strange because every single plant we've just took out has got one yellowing leaf on it. So, in deep, nicely firm down. A little bit of extra feed to keep these plants going. And that'll go back down to the container garden. It's going to be too warm to keep salads in your greenhouse now. And we've still got enough plants left to do another one if we want to. So maybe I'll do another one later on. So just for the sake of a few minutes, we've got a nice little container set up now. As I said at the beginning, they weren't the best looking plants. Once we trim back those yellowing leaves, they'll soon pick up anyway. Because now they've got that extra growing space, and before you know it, they're going to be like this. And these are ready for us to take an harvest off today as well. So there's one advantage of it cooling down a little bit, is that we're back in greenhouse and we can probably get quite a few more jobs done today. And as I mentioned yesterday about maintenance on your plants, taking all your bottom leaves off, that's not just for tomato plants, that's for all your plants. Yellow leaves are no good, so while it is cool if you've got a greenhouse, you might as well get in there today and get all that done. Although from what I've seen, we've got quite a bit of rain on the way next week. You might remember a couple of weeks ago we put a butternut squash plant in here right at the back of this greenhouse, and that's actually doing quite well at the moment, and we haven't looked at that since it went in. I'll just give you a quick look at that. So we put it just down here, and it was quite a small plant when we put it in. You can see now it's got a nice bit of growth. We've got, once again, not following my own instructions, with a yellowing leaf. Take that away. In fact, you might as well take both of those. They're not going to do anything anymore anyway. We've got a clean plant, but we've also got a good sized plant, so that's on its way now. And that melon that we potted on quite recent, that's starting to put out some extra growth as well. And we have managed to save a couple of melon plants. Once again, that leaf is no good. In fact, I'm going to take those bottom leaves off as well now. It'll put more energy into the main plant if you take off leaves that you don't really need anymore. We'll see how that one gets on over the next couple of weeks. So I'll pop this down to that container garden and look at a nice little steady sprinkling of water from that rain. And in a few weeks time we'll be taking harvest from that. And then I'm going to have a look round and see what else there is to do in greenhouses and in garden. Maybe sow a few extra seeds as well, so we can keep things like this continuously going right up until the end of the year. So if you want to see what else we do over the next few days, hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your weekend.